guys. I want to try Gungan yogurt. Misa want to talk like this.
Oh, no.
Pino, you're not allowed to talk like that. You're banned from the podcast.
You used to think you are better than the Gungans?
Yeah. Welcome, first years, to the Funky Anime Podcast team. We are your lovely senpais, your wonderful third years. First, to my right, this is our libero, Pino.
Hey, I'm the libero.
That's right.
I scream.
Yeah?
I
scream as...
I jump, but I do the cool jumps where I jump to the side.
Cool.
I'm cool.
To my left is our setter. This is Garb.
Don't tell anyone, but I actually don't know how to play volleyball.
And I'm the middle blocker, Chuck. That's
tall.
it. I'm the tall guy. That's the joke. I didn't write an opening bit because I was too entranced by the anime we're watching today. So welcome.
Dude, are we watching Kuroko no Basket?
Shut up. Welcome to the Funky Anime Podcast. We are good. We're here.
We're living.
We are the boys.
Yeah, the boys are back in town.
It's true. I am Chuck. Like I said before, there's Garb.
Hello.
And we got Pino as well.
Hey
and
there.
Today, we're going to be continuing something that we started a year and a half ago.
Holy moly.
We are watching Season 2 and Season 3 of Haikyuu. Because the episode before, I just said Season 2, and then I said, no, that's wrong. We're going to watch more episodes because I want to watch more episodes.
I'm the host, and I get to pick how many episodes we watch.
It's true. But before we start doing anything else, I'd really like to thank our Patreon supporters for helping us. And at our very big cash money tier, we got Sid, we got Cream Puff, we got Jasmine, and we got Cosmos. So I want to thank you all so very much for helping us and everyone else on our Patreon.
Y'all kick ass.
For making it a good place. We got a Discord. We do streams there sometimes. We talk about whatever show we're watching. So if you want to know and see our, live reactions to some of the shows that we're watching, that's where you get it.
All right,
so,
don't forget to bow to our audience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We love you.
All right.
Thank you. But yes, so come join our Patreon if that's something that you'd like to do, because we'd love to have you there.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're watching this show that's very near and dear to my heart because I love it. We are watching Haikyuu Season 2, and we are watching Haikyuu Season 3, Karasuno High versus Shiratorizawa Academy. And overall, it is a total of 36 episodes, or 35 depending on the season count. I think it's 35 actually. So regardless, we've watched 35 episodes.
Pretty
and good. Yeah, let's do a little bit about the background about the show, because a year and a half ago we talked about it a little bit, but I want to talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah, time has changed, so we've got some updates, right?
Well, times change. We have some updates as well as I feel like I didn't do it justice. Regardless. So Haikyuu Season 2 started airing in fall 2015, October 4th, 2015 to March 27th, 2016. And then Season 3 was in fall 2016 from October 8th to December 10th. Funnily enough, Season 3 only has 10 episodes, but we'll get to that in a second. Oh, I almost forgot. Watch Haikyuu. If you are here right now and you have not watched Haikyuu, do it. I'll wait. I feel like this is my biggest recommendation on the podcast ever. You need to watch this fucking show.
And watch it blind.
Watch the show. I don't care. The manga's great.
Watch it blind.
If you're a manga reader, do that. If you're an anime watcher, watch the anime. They're both fucking phenomenal.
But there's going to be spoilers in this. So
there are massive spoilers. So please heed my warning. So, and yeah, the third season has 10 episodes, which is pretty interesting because you don't usually see that. But they're like, you know what? This is how many episodes we needed to tell the story. And I appreciate it because that's what they did. So Haikyuu is a manga that was from Shonen Jump that ran from 2012 to 2020. That was very sad.
Yeah, it's done and over with, which is
Haikyuu's
good because
over.
it has a definitive start and end date.
It's very good.
Sad because it ended this year.
Yes, I've read it. It is maybe my favorite manga ever created, but that's a whole nother story. Written by Furudate, who does both the story and art, which is great. He's a fantastic mangaka, and I'm very excited to see what he does in the future. There's a little fun fact about Haikyuu. There's actually a special one-shot called Nisekoi, which is a cross between Haikyuu and Nisekoi. And Nisekoi is a fun manga that was running in Shonen Jump at the same time as Haikyuu. There's a little crossover thing, and I know that Pino really loves Nisekoi, and I do as well because he made me read it.
I didn't make you do anything. I just showed you.
You made me read the whole thing. I don't know
nonsense.
What you're talking
It's
about.
just like the time I made you buy Dragon Ball Fighters.
I can't believe you made me buy it and then you don't play it anymore.
It's not my fault.
It is your fault. Anyway, I want to talk about, now that we've talked a little bit about the manga, I want to talk about the anime for a second. It was done by Production IG, which at first you don't really hear that name a lot. They've done a couple notable things by themselves. They did Cromartie High School, which is a comedy kind of gag show, which is pretty good. It's an early 2000s show that goes over like the life of a bunch of bad boys in school, but it's a comedy and the animation's all over the place, adding to the comedy. They've also done Psycho-Pass, which is a bigger name. I think the third season's actually out or coming out currently. And they also did the first One Piece OVA. So that's a pretty interesting little tidbit of information.
I knew I recognized that name from somewhere. I just completely forgot it was Studio IG. Yeah, they do some good stuff now that I think about it, especially thinking back to that OVA.
Yeah, and they work closely with a lot of other studios. In more recent times, they've worked a lot with Wit Studio on Attack on Titan, The Great Pretender, and Vinland Saga. So
very good.
We
All
do
shows that pretty they slap.
They slap as far as I know. I know one of them really slaps. The other two I've heard slap. They've also worked with Gainax on all the Fooly Cooly stuff and the End of Eva movie.
Whoa. I did see their little credit when we were watching the that one.
Sorry, that one show.
You said the name and I just couldn't think of it. What was it? The 6-episode one.
Fooly Cooly?
There we go. Thank you. Yes.
They also worked with Zebek on Love Hina, which is a classic harem show. They've done a bunch of other, like, slightly lesser known. They do some sport anime. They worked with Madhouse on Diamond No Ace.
That's the baseball.
Yeah, the baseball anime. They also worked on Kuro no Basket, which is the basketball one.
That's the joke I made.
which is not as good as Haikyuu. And they also worked on Prince of Tennis with Transart. So
cool. I don't talk about Prince of Tennis anymore. I don't know why. I'm not disappointed. I just don't remember anything about it. I just like pretending I'm upset.
They've done a lot of good work.
They're staying busy, staying in business.
They stay business, and I'm proud because they were able to give us. They're able to give us Haikyuu, and
they absolutely knocked it out of the park. If I can, if I do say so myself.
Yeah. No, talk about it.
It's something you really don't expect with a lot of like with a premise like a sports anime, and we touched a little bit upon it last episode or last time we talked about Haikyuu, but like it feels like it would be very difficult to try and translate, you know, how one is feeling during that moment of like sports play and like what these characters are going through. But they do an excellent job like creating that kind of imagery. Like the last season, there was the whole issue of like one team being like a giant iron wall, and so they literally like show you what they're feeling, what they see. Like Hinata sees, I think it was Data Tech or Date Tech.
Yeah, it's Data Tech, yeah.
As like a ginormous wall, and like they actually like take the time to animate all that, like even change the color of the scene and everything. And I thought that was such a brilliant way to just like show that, and they keep it up here. There was like a standout moment near the end of season 3, which I know I'm jumping all over the place right now.
No, go for it.
When they're fighting against Ushiwaka, is that the guy's name? Or no? The big serious man from what was his name? I'll look at the list.
It's Ushi.
It's Ushi, yeah, right? Is that the name? Ushijima. Or is that the team?
Yeah.
Ushijima. Yeah. So when they're
from Shia Torizawa.
Yeah, when they were fighting against that guy, or not fighting, because it felt like a fight, because like they felt so pressed at that last moment, and like they personified it as he is like pushing the entire team down, and the team trying to like rise up from that pressure he was like exuding on them. I thought that was so good. I was like, this is how you transmit what these guys are feeling and going through at this moment, which was excellent.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of visual symbolism that they use a lot. They do use it in the manga quite a lot, but I feel like the animation really brings it to another level.
Yeah.
With seeing that animation, that force, and you can see...
Like, in that specific example, when they were really trying to get up, you could really see them trying.
Yeah, it's... Because they also do stuff like the crow versus the eagle.
Or the cat.
The battle of the garbage dump and things like that. And it's more than just your generic, it's just these two volleyball teams going against each other. It's way more in depth and more thought out than that. And I feel like that's a huge aspect of Haikyuu that people who have not experienced it doesn't really see. Because, you know, they're just like, sport anime. What else is it? But yeah, quickly, I'll just go through our first impressions and etc. before we go into the full-on presentation.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's all good. Hey, I'm not going to complain if you're going to compliment Haikyuu. This is like this is it for me. But yeah, I talked about this before. I think I started watching back in 2016, and I actually caught up to watching the anime during the 3rd season while it was airing.
Ooh.
So for the last couple episodes, I had to wait weekly to watch
that must
those.
have been painful.
And it was brutal. But then I said, fuck it, I'm going to read the manga. And then I did. And I have been up to date with the manga for probably, those 4 years. And it ended. And I think it's one of the best endings to any shonen manga ever made. And that's a huge claim, but I feel like it's true. I loved it, and I wanted to watch more of this, and it feels great to be back talking about this show again. And I think you guys just watched it for the first time for the podcast, right?
Yeah. That was my first experience with it. Again, I guess like just to summarize, like I didn't know what to expect, coming off of only watching maybe like, what was it, Prince of Tennis ages ago, and like that's about all the sports I can remember. But yeah, no, this one was like a nice little wake up call, like the fact that you can actually put shonen tropes into a show and make it feel fresh and different and interesting and cool.
Absolutely.
About volleyball. That slaps, my friend. That slaps.
Yeah, I think that was one of the reasons why Kurono Basket itself never really meshed for me. I tried to watch a couple episodes and read a bit of the manga. I've just been spoiled with Haikyuu, with the shonen sports manga. I think it's been perfected, and it's a shame because I want people to be trying more things like this. I want people to really be pushing more sports-based manga and anime, and I feel like it can be done extremely well in different ways. Like, for example, well, actually, there's a lot of parallels between Haikyuu and Hajime no Ippo, which I think I also talked about the first time we talked about Haikyuu. Because Hajime no Ippo does a lot of the same visualization things, the symbolism, because each fighter that Ippo fights has their own way of fighting. So there's some that feel like they're flowing in water, that they flow. So it shows the whole ring basically in water as like a visualization to show that like, oh, this is how it feels like to move in here and how it feels like to try and attack against this character. And things like that, I feel like really bring up a huge boon for stuff like mangas, like sports manga, because you can do all these different things that you don't get in sports in general, as well as other sports media like sports movies, just in general. So Haikyuu great, Hajime no Ippo's pretty damn good as well. But now that I've talked about Haikyuu, let's talk about more Haikyuu with that presentation. So first, let's talk about animation. How about that animation, boys?
Like I said, it's very, very, very polished. It's great when they show you like the weight of each of the like hits with the volleyball. They show you the weight of the jumps. They just show you a lot of like very, what I hopefully is like accurate looking like ways to like hit the ball and like receive and jump, and even some of their exaggerated ones, like when they a couple of the spikers like Oikawa, especially Oikawa actually, where his arm literally goes Luffy and just like you get the whole
it
like
spins
little
around, because they do that with Leaf as well, the tall Russian kid from Nekoma, because the way that he does his spike that they show, I don't know if it was first season or this season, but he like, I think it was this season, but his arm like kind of twists and becomes goo to hit it. And it's even shown on his Nendroid that he has. He has an arm piece that's literally like all bendy.
That's
and
funny.
like kind of, it's so cool. And I feel like the show is actually pretty damn realistic. They might exaggerate some things, like with the, arms hitting, like you said, the spiker movements. But all the techniques that they do are real fucking techniques.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's a good mix of just like realistic and like the exaggerated things that we're expecting, like the powerful hits and like the very, very nicely placed angles for like jumps and for like blocks and everything.
That kind of stuff is not easy to do. Like, you know how like in K-On!, it's one of the few examples where it's a very accurate animation of playing the instruments they play. I feel like it's a very similar thing here, where they really made a very conscious effort to make this
Furudate, I think, did a fantastic job on studying up and learning about volleyball. I think he, before creating this, loved volleyball beforehand and then brought it in, if I'm not mistaken. I've read so many interviews with him just because it's a super interesting topic, and he's one of my favorite mangaka. But animation-wise, this show is fucking phenomenal. I don't think there's a single time where I was taken out, was upset, was anything beyond just astounded by how good this show looks. There's the piece of animation that I feel like is the best. I'm pretty sure it was from this season, but Oikawa going after the ball during their final match with Karasuno, where he kind of dives into the table to get the set up for his team, and he runs into the table, but then there's a super smooth get up animation, like he slips over.
That was real nice.
It's insane how clean that is, and that's just like scratching the surface. There is
that
so
last
many
episode where it does a huge like sweeping pan, like it goes from one side of the court to the other in this huge like angled arc, and they didn't use any 3D, or if they did, they drew over it, and it blew my mind especially because the opening has 3D. But those are usually outsourced or only partially done. And so it was crazy seeing them go through all that effort and make it. And it looked amazing.
I know that they do 3D mostly for the ball itself.
Yeah.
But we talked about this before in our first episode. Super good. Looks great. I got no quarrels if it looks as good as it does. Like the balls never looked out of place.
Yeah.
For me. And they even have like 2D animated balls when they have them in like the racks and the carts for them.
Yeah.
And then when the characters have them, they're usually animated in 3D and it looks phenomenal. There's so much that is so well done about this show that I could legitimately sit here and probably talk for 6-7 hours.
Clearly,
just
they love the source material.
Yes. Oh my god.
There's a respect, which is nice.
There's such a huge respect to the manga. There is one interesting thing actually is that season 4 they did a slight art style change to make it look closer to the manga.
Cool.
Which it's definitely different because in these first 3 seasons, you know how there's a lot more hard lines with the shadows and whatnot? That wasn't really in the manga. There's a little bit of that, but not to the exaggerated that these first 3 seasons have. And so it's a little bit different, but I love how the new one looks as well. I don't think there's a bad art style between these. Once again, and we're going to talk about these seasons and not season 4 because that's another time because we will watch it because I'm going to make them.
I'm down for more.
It's so good, but animation, there's nothing I could say except praise.
Yeah, I cannot think of a single moment where I even thought like, that was kind of a screw up, except like the third opening of this, which I guess overall would be like what, opening 4?
Opening 5.
Yeah,
like the opening for season 3.
Yeah, would that be 5?
Yeah.
But either way, that one, but the openings are usually not fully done by the same studio.
No, I thought that looked really good. I don't know what.
I guess we can.
We'll
get into it in a bit. But next, quickly, let's talk about voice acting. Once again, I watched this fully subbed because that's how I love the show and that's how I know all these characters.
I watched it dubbed until the last episode, mostly because I was out on the road, and I was like, I'm going to finish this while I'm here. So, I like the Japanese voices; they're pretty good. A lot of familiar voices too, which is great. They sound. I guess the only one who sounded a little different to me was the libero for Karasuno. What was his name?
Nishinoya.
Nishinoya. Yeah, his voice actor in the dub was the same one as Tomoki from Heaven's Lost Property, which I think works super well. But when I heard him in Japanese, I was like, interesting.
Well,
his voice is a little rougher.
Yeah, that voice
deeper.
actor is Bakugo's voice actor from Boku no Hero.
I see.
That's his big.
But I think the dub worked really well, especially because Nishinoya, at least in season 1, you have a lot more of him being like goofy and everything, and I thought that was a perfect role for him. So great to hear him. But everyone else was super solid. You can hear emotion when there needed to be. Even Daichi, who has the godliest voice of them all.
Yeah.
In the dub, his voice is so good. I was excited to hear different sides of Daichi when he was getting more hype, in pain, being the dad of the group. I was like, let's go. That guy.
Let's go.
If we had best voice actor, I pick him for this show hands down.
There's once again, vocal performances all around phenomenal. There's nothing bad to say. There's not a bad way to enjoy this anime. Literally not a bad way.
If you prefer dub, watch dub. No complaints. Like, it's really that good.
Yeah. If someone asked me which to pick, I'd say sub, but that's also just because that's how I had watched it, and that's how, I knew, because when I was watching the anime, they didn't have the dub yet, I don't think. Yeah, no, it was announced when I was reading the manga. Yeah.
Dang.
So there was no there was no dub yet, but I also probably would have watched sub anyway. But
some
it's
shows are
phenomenal.
just like that,
Great. Let's talk about that OST real quick, because holy fucking shit, the OST is so goddamn good.
Seriously.
Yes.
Every single one of those background tracks, you are a banger. Even just to listen to on their own, like you don't, sure, it's nice knowing they're from Haikyuu, but just, I don't know, just to listen to them as they are, good shit.
Yeah, there's so many tracks that you can play the first 5 seconds of to me, and
like,
I'd be like,
that's the
yeah,
time.
I know exactly where this is in the anime. I know exactly where it comes from, and it is so wonderful. There's so much love and care put into every facet of this show. And the OST might be the biggest show for that. There's so many fantastic tracks throughout the show. Literally, I was watching the new season, and the Mia brothers, who you guys don't know yet, but literally they have this killer saxophone in their theme, and I'm like, that's crazy. And
Did you say wind instrument?
Yes, sir, dude.
Oh boy,
we got some trumpets in this season. We got everything.
Dude, the best moment was when I was watching season 2 near the end, and they had the destroyer guy or the mad dog, whatever they called him.
Yeah, you got Mad Dog.
His trumpet ass background music was the best thing ever. I was not expecting the trumpets. I wasn't expecting to feel so much dread and fear, and I was like, this is excellent. I literally geeked out a little on the Patreon chat, and I was like, I need to find this track, and lo and behold, I did, and I listened to the entire thing. I was like, this is perfect. It's a masterpiece.
Yep, it is. There's so many really high octane, high energy songs, but as well as a lot of more chill, laid back, and also some pretty emotional, heavy things as well, which having that
a lot of variety. And all of them good.
So good. Oh my god, yeah. It's insane. It's just insane. There's a reason why I've fallen so much in love with this franchise. And this is just one aspect, one of so many other. And especially even in season 3, where it has a smaller soundtrack due to the shorter length, still so many crazy things, like the theme for what's his nuts for Tendo, the guest monster as titled on the track. It's such a weird technical kind of weird sounding theme, but it works so well for the dread that you get from playing against him, and the dread of how his play style is so disruptive. And so good. So good. I'm sorry. I just this is just my show. This is it for me.
It's okay.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
It'd really be like that.
It really do be like that. So, now that we've talked about the OST enough, let's get into my favorite part of the show, where we get to talk about...
You missed that bit? Let's go into the openings.
I hate you. So, I'm just going to go through chronologically. So first, let's go to the first opening of Haikyuu Season 2, or Opening 3. I'm just going to refer to them as the number in the series. So Opening 3 is I'm a Believer by Spy Air.
Dude, when I saw this opening, I became a believer. Thank you. No, but no, I like this opening. It's pretty. It's what I think of when I think of Haikyuu, because I remember the first two openings were also kind of in the same kind of style, kind of upbeat, but also kind of homey. It feels like a homey kind of group feeling. I don't know if that was a good way to describe it, but I like it.
I get the vibe. There's a very distinct focus on each of the openings on what setting that the part of the show is in. So, for example, this opening has a much larger focus on practice. And literally every part of the show, every part of this opening is either them practicing by themselves or at the training camp in Tokyo. And I feel like that's such a wonderful thing. Also, Spy Air, fucking phenomenal. They do so good with all their openings that they do. All their music's great. It shows off all the characters, shows all the training that they have to go through, and how, you know, it's not an overnight thing, which I feel is another huge part of the show.
Yeah.
Is that they don't magically become better just because they're like, oh, now we believe in ourselves. No, you see them lose. You see them like struggle to get through this.
Yeah.
And then when the chorus hits in this opening, and there's a POV shot from you being on Nekoma on a practice match against Karasuno. And so you get to see your eyes follow the ball going through and them all attacking it. It's so good. And you see all these important characters to the story. And then there's after the main course, it has like the little, I don't even know how to describe it, but the repeating bit after the chorus where it kind of has cut-ins of the different groups of characters. So it shows the coaches. Yeah, I don't know how to describe that, but it shows the coaches, and then it shows the managers, and then it shows them stepping up to Karasuno stepping up to the line and having a pan shot over each of the characters. And I love this opening, but man, it's so wonderful. Has such a good vibe to it.
Yes.
Very good.
It's very good.
I still
like
sing it to myself now and then.
Shut up. I'm a believer. I'm sorry, I got a little aggressive there.
Yeah, that was really shut up. I was like, oh no.
I've been practicing.
You've been practicing your assertiveness.
My bully.
He believes that hard.
My bully tactics.
His bully tactics are growing.
I'm sorry. Don't be a bully, guys. Just remember that. I was just kidding.
Don't be a bully.
Be assertive, not insertive.
Next, we got ending 3, which is Climber by Galileo Galilei. And this is a much more understated ending. There's a very distinct divide between Haikyuu openings and Haikyuu endings. Haikyuu openings are very energetic and quick and really punchy with their music and very strong with their visuals, while all the endings are much more softer. It still usually has practice, and especially in this ending, has all the teams practice and the different parts, the different struggles of each character kind of shown, and then it has, oh man, it's just so good. Okay, sorry, I'm losing my mind. But regardless, basically what happens in this ending is that it shows a character doing something or struggling or performing to work for volleyball, and then it has them running. So first you see Hinata struggling. I think I'm pretty sure that's just, I don't know exactly what part of the story this is from. I would assume probably after getting blocked by Seijo from the first season. And then it shows him running. And then you see Kageyama serving and struggling after he's actually wearing his middle school garb, I think. And that was him being really frustrated because, you know, middle school was really rough for him because he was the king and didn't pay attention to anyone. So then it has the two of them running. Then we got Suki and Yams. And then they're running. And then it has the second years and then the third years. And then it ends with everyone running together. And it's just such a good song, and it's so nice.
Sorry, you had me at run.
Hey, if you give me characters running, hey, I'm good.
I'm set.
happy with
if
it.
you're running, God, dude, I want to join. I want to run with you.
Dude, I'll
Makes
book
me want to
you
run
legit.
with them, like legit.
You're gonna hear me say this a lot. I really like this ending.
Yeah.
It's a very solid ending,
It's very simple, but it doesn't do anything crazy. But it didn't need to.
Exactly.
This is the perfect, like, you know, I don't want to say it's a template, but this is one of the endings that if you really want to understand, like, oh, you know, what really does make an ending that good, this is a good one to really break apart. It's a good ending. Great song. It keeps moving, you know, like it shows them carrying on and interacting with one another. All the things that, you know, we want to see.
All the things a team needs.
Yeah.
Guys, I want to talk about OP4 Fly High by Burnout Syndromes.
All right.
This
This is the best one.
This is literally in my like top 3 anime openings.
This is the best song.
I love this opening. I've had the song downloaded on my phone for the last 4 years. It is so wonderful because now that this part of the story is that they're going to the qualifiers, the Miyagi prefectural qualifiers. So all of the shots are shown through a match instead of practice, which is wonderful because that's this part of the story. And I love it. There's so many good things about this show and this opening. And it has all the different teams that you see and you meet throughout this match. It has a nice parallel between Hinata and the little giant from Karasuno before, back to back in a segment of this show. It shows all of the characters doing their own unique things. Like, for example, you see Suki getting a really nice block. And it has Hinata doing his super crazy quick.
You know what a nice touch was? Sorry to interrupt.
No, go for it.
Halfway through that part of the story, when our boy, spoilers, Daichi does get injured, they change the opening.
Yeah.
And they give him the injury mark. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I didn't notice that until one of our patrons pointed it out. And I was like,
yeah.
Oh, let's go, dude. And I started noticing that. And I thought that was really, really smart of them to do. Just like we've talked about it before, how we like how they you know, update the openings as the story progresses. So that was very good. Hats off to you guys.
Love to see it.
It doesn't need to be something crazy. Yeah. It's something as simple as adjusting, you know, maybe 10 frames of animation or something like that. It is so wonderful. And the song is phenomenal. Burnout Syndromes have done a lot of different openings for anime. They've even done opening 5, which we'll talk about in a bit. But holy shit, it's so good. It's
probably my favorite opening out of the bunch we have here.
Yeah, I think so as well. They've done great. They've done so good.
Sorry, I haven't said anything. You keep saying all I want to say.
No, I'm sorry. This is this show that I get most excited about.
You're making it very
like
easy
ever.
for us.
Yeah. This is welcome to the Chuck podcast where no one else gets to talk because
The
I
Gush
talk.
Cast, dude.
It's the
Gush
Chuck cast.
Gush.
It is the Gush cast.
Dude, gushers, dude.
Ooh, fruit gushers. I just love it. The Burnout Syndromes does great work, and they deserve all the love, and this opening is a testament. Oh, it's great. It's great.
We love to see it.
Let's talk about ending number 4, which is Hatsunetsu, which is cool.
Slaps.
I will say it was a grower for me. Just the song. I love all the way it looked. I love the whole black and white and the muted colors. I thought that was great. The song just took me a while to get used to, is all. But once it hit, it hit. So I'm glad that it hit. Basically, is all I want to say.
Yeah, it's. I love this opening because it has the ending. I'm sorry, I'm getting all.
It's all right,
I'm jumbled up in my love.
I got you.
Thank you. But this, the segment that is shown is actually what happened after losing, or at the beginning where you see Hinata and Kageyama on the ground. That was after they lost to Seijo during the fall tournament in the inner high, and so that's why they were like on the ground really frustrated. And then it gets to them going with the team to the spring tournament which is where this part of the story comes out. And it's great because... And also the visuals are literally black, white, and then the one signature color for the school. So, for example, Karasuno has the orange. We got Shitorizawa, which has that kind of maroon color. We get Seijo with their teal. It's just so good. Mm-hmm. And it's so simple. There's not a whole lot done, but what is done, so
it
good.
Works.
Yeah, it just works. And then at the end, where it then transfers to like animation from the show. Oh, that last little kick to it. It's so nice. Because like how it just like flips it and then looks up and smiles. And it's so good. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You enjoy it, baby boy.
I enjoy it. This is the time that I get to enjoy.
I mean, this... I love when it's just, you know, you don't need a whole crazy idea to make an ending unique or special, you know? Like, this takes a very simple idea, you know, just like making it, kind of like a manga or a comic book.
Yeah, it's not really close to what the manga actually looks like, but I get what they were going for.
Yeah. But I mean,
it's still the style's so banging.
It's cool. Yeah, it's stylish, and that's enough to make it, you know, its own thing. It's cool.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Ja
rule.
Man, I haven't thought about that in a while. Anyway,
I say that every other day.
Just no one says. I just say Ja feel, but there's no one around me to say Ja rule.
Yeah. It never happens. Only on this podcast sometimes.
It's true. So let's go to opening 5, which is Hikari Are by Burnout Syndromes. Again.
Oh, dang. I thought it was Hikari R. I was like, he said English and Japan.
Idiot.
Oh, man. I love being white. Wait, no. I'm sorry, American. Anyways, there's a big eagle. That was the best part. I love it. Joe, go ahead. I think I'm done speaking for today.
It's very funny. This is another, like we talked about before, there's a lot of visual symbolism in this opening, which I really love. It shows all of our Karasuno boys trying to climb the mountain to get to the top, and then the mountain shifts.
You know what was a nice touch? The whole like body heat coming off from them
all
on
the
the
steam
mountain.
coming off of
I
them.
was like, at the beginning when I first saw it, I'm like, why are they about to go super ultra instinct on me? And I'm just like, oh, they're on a mountain. Oh, they're just
And
like, they're
sweating.
hype, dude. I get that.
dude.
I feel that.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
I've played sports and I've seen the steam come off of me.
Yeah, I remember that, especially when it's nice and cold outside.
Yeah, it's nice, crisp outdoors.
Mm-hmm. Nice brisk jog, and by brisk I mean I'm running like a madman.
You're booking it. You're late to school. You got a piece of toast in your mouth. What else can you do?
Of course, a piece of toast. There's bacon on it. There's lettuce on it. It's a whole ass sandwich in my mouth.
You got a whole ass sandwich in your mouth. What's happening to you?
I just woke up late.
Hey, it happens to the best of us.
But yeah, no, that additional steam coming off from these boys' bodies, that's like, they didn't need that, but it works.
And they made them kind of glow in a couple of shots too.
Mm-hmm.
One shot that is super short, but I love, is that there's a shot of Shitorizawa's team looking across the court, and on the other side, it's a bunch of crows flying onto the court. And that's just like, it's so good.
Dude, it's almost like their school is a crow. Dude. Karasuno.
Wow.
Karasu.
You almost... Crow.
Shuttlecock.
Dude, no. This is the only crow I like. Don't mess it up. And it's a lot of crows in this one.
There's a lot of crows. I have the first 2 seasons in box set, and I got 2 sets of crow pins of each character.
I thought you said you actually got literal crows. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool, Chuck.
Yeah,
that's weird, but that's kind of cool.
They gave me crows with the box set. Kind of weird, but okay.
The weird flex.
They sit outside and they laugh at me every time I go in and out.
This opening shows a lot of the strengths of all the characters again, because within about at 35, about basically we got Daichi receiving a serve, and then we have Kageyama doing the set up to Hinata, doing a little slide, which is wonderful, and then we got Suki getting that damn good block. Ugh, I love it. And then there's a shot with Ushijima, where he's slamming that shit down, and there's a blast of light as he hits the ball, and then it just slams the ground with this huge force, and it's just so good. I love this opening. This is another personal favorite of mine. I don't think it beats Fly High, but man, there's some real cool symbolism. Like at 1 minute, there's a shot of Hinata going up for a super far back spike, and then the image shifts to a diving crow. And I'm like, it's, once again, I could talk about this fucking show for hours on end, but I want other people to talk about it just because I gush way too much.
I mean, that's all there is. It's good shit.
Tastes
Garb,
good.
were you saying that there was something about this opening that you
I changed my mind.
That's what I like to hear.
I don't know I don't know. The first time I saw it, I thought that I saw too many parts where it was still.
I saw too many crows.
Yeah,
I saw too many.
Scared.
They were coming after me.
They're gonna laugh at me.
There was only one eagle. They were bullying the eagle. I felt so bad.
Dude, crows can overpower them. A bunch of crows. Wasn't that in the show?
Yeah, it takes they hunt in packs.
Yeah, dude. It's a murder.
It's a murder of crows. It's pretty
There's
cool.
been a murder on the volleyball court.
It's a bunch of crows.
Look at them go.
Oh,
Was that a spike? Oh my god, they've adapted.
they're playing sports.
I can't believe it. Somebody call the Air Bud people right now.
The Air Bud people. You mean Disney?
Yeah.
I think it's really funny calling Disney the Air Bud people as like that's their biggest achievement.
That's their biggest, what do you mean? A dog who plays sports, of course.
Fair enough.
Who
Guys,
wouldn't want their dog to play sports?
let's talk about ending 5.
All my dogs play
Mashi
sports.
Mashi by Nico touches the walls.
Dude, Nico Yazawa?
No.
Dude, she's really touching
This
those
ending's
walls.
much better than Nico.
Hey,
What?
that's fair.
It's
That's
true.
fair.
This is a pretty damn good song.
I like
the song.
It's so simple and so effective. I jam to the song every
Yeah.
time it plays. This is another song that's been a constant on my playlists for a while now. Oh,
Yeah, it's good.
and another really good thing about this ending is that you don't need to have that kind of animation. Like, this is the best sliding PNG ending I've ever fucking seen. And there's a couple very simple reasons why. Number 1, the song's a banger. Let's start out there. Number 2, it's a somewhat unique style than from the show. It's not just concept. It's not like just art from the show pasted onto the end to save a few bucks, which I greatly appreciate because it shows that there's a lot of love put into it. But it shows all the different teams that you get to meet that you've met throughout this journey. And it has all the different personalities of each of the characters with how they are kind of moving and how they are running. And I feel like that is a huge thing, just showing the personalities. And it's not just, oh, here's a couple static images. There's a lot of movement to it. And there's a couple layers of... There's a lot of parallax scrolling in this ending, which is kind of fun. And it shows like the party school with all the guys jumping around. You get to see people from Wakutani. You get to see Bokudo with him and the two managers.
Poor Kenma getting dragged.
That is so good. It's such a good visual. It looked so good because, like, oh yeah, you could see that happening. Like, that's just how it be. And you see what's his name? Yamamoto, who's the other punk from Nekoma, and he has like his hands in his pockets, and he's just like kind of sulking a little bit. But you got like Leaf doing a big old Naruto jump and run, and it's so good.
I want to give this ending crap for just being a sliding PNG, but it's
But you
technically
can't.
3 sliding PNGs, and they are very
background.
long, and they all show characters interacting with one another. So I can't be hard on it.
It's so good. I like. You could pause it at any point and point out something new and something unique that fits with the show. It's so you can tell that there's care put into this. I think is the thing that really sets this apart from other sliding PNG endings.
This would make a really cool print.
Yeah, right. A super long ass print with all the characters. That would be awesome. It's just like a wall scroll, but the other way.
You really do be marching.
They do be marching. And then
I feel like if the song wasn't as good, this ending would have just been meh. But the song carries it for me a lot.
Yeah,
I love it.
No, the song gives the energy that the moving PNGs doesn't quite give.
Yeah,
because obviously it's just a static image being slid. But
so I don't understand this body. But
what, Bokuto? He's
his
doing
legs.
a big old jump. He's
Look at
getting pushed.
This man's long.
He is long. Bokuto's super
this
tall.
man is long.
Well, hey,
Officer, there's the man.
he's long.
Perpetrator.
Yeah, no, this guy's 6'1", so he's long.
Dang, can't believe
It's
it.
not as long as me,
too
but
tall.
you know, I'm
I'm taller than Hinata. I'm probably Nishinoya size. Hold up.
At least the show has proper
Let me
height
find
representation.
that. I need to find somebody who's my height. In this
I'm taller than
dumb show.
Aeon, the Date Tech blocker guy. I'm like the tall guy. There's one in the second, or technically in the 4th season, where there's a really tall, 2 meter tall character, and I think actually isn't Suki. Because I know
Suki's pretty tall.
Because he gets measured at the end, and yeah, no, he's 90 centimeters.
Oh damn, I'm taller than
190.
Nishinoya too. Jesus.
Dude, poggers.
Is there anybody who's my height? Oh, dude, 1995. Dude, shout out. Okay, sorry. They got a lot of information here. Jeez.
Yeah, no, it's great. But yeah, no, Suki is 190, and I'm like 195 centimeters, I think. Maybe a little bit taller because I know that's how tall Jotaro is.
This is whack. Hold up. Is Nishinoya's a second year, right?
Yeah.
Yo, wait. That means do they use real world time like 2018, like 2012, and like 2015? That's whack, dude.
This happened. This
my
story
age, I was just
happens
dancing. I could have been a volleyball dude.
I will. Can I just say one thing? This is like the smallest bit of spoilers. The Tokyo Olympics happens in 2021 in Haikyuu, so technically that means that there was COVID in Haikyuu times.
Oh no.
Oh no. No character dies. Not that I know of.
It's all right. They were practicing their social distancing, of course.
Yeah, but it was very funny because I was reading the manga weekly, and then it's like and then it said 2021, the Tokyo Olympics, and I went, oh. But yeah, this ended great. We kind of split off from.
Sorry, I
talking
just
about
got real excited.
No, you're
you
fine.
never get characters, or at least I never get information to characters that like actually, quote unquote, live in the same kind of timeline. Quote,
yeah,
unquote.
right.
That's
They're in
kinda
our same
wild.
timeline. Yeah. Well, it's real world. It's realistic. Like how it happens. Like because of this show, I started watching like the Japanese National League men's volleyball league because of this show. They have a YouTube channel, and so I watch volleyball matches sometimes.
Do they also have a little giant?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Not that I remember, but they're also just shorter than most teams. Just
that
'cause
makes sense. I'm short.
they're shorter. It's true, but like one reason why they have so many like detailed things is that they all have like their own like different character bios, as well as with the box sets, you get trading cards. So I have trading cards for all the different for like a bunch of different characters in the show, and it comes with a bunch of different little factoids and different things about them, and it's great. I love it. Buy the box sets. They're really cheap when they go on sale. They're usually like $25 or $30 or something. Would highly recommend. But regardless, we've talked way too much about the show without talking about the plot.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Let's get it, boys. You're
making fun of me? I'm kidding.
No. So season 2 basically picks off where season 1 left off. Karasuno had just lost against Seijo
at
the
all still very
Inter-High
sad.
tournament, and everyone's kind of frustrated, and they're like, God damn it, we were this
have
close.
to get better and stronger.
Well, it's true, they did have to.
To the hyperbolic time chamber. No. To training camp, nerd.
They do not do that. And so basically what happens is they're now training, and Takeda, the teacher, comes in and is like, hey guys, we're going to be working with Nekoma in the Tokyo training camp. And so they're like, oh, that's pretty cool. And during training one day, Kageyama and Hinata are acting like a fool, and they just run like far beyond what they were supposed to because they're competitive like that. And they meet Ushijima, who is the best volleyball player in their district. He plays for the 19 and under volleyball team, and that means he's very fucking good. And the school is very good at volleyball. And so at that point, Ushijima's like, dude, you guys are stinky. You must be in fertile land to grow as good players. And they're like, we're from the concrete, and even the concrete can grow. And then there's this nice little visual parallel, and I nut. It's great. And Hinata is like, I'll fucking take you down. And that's the start of it. And you're like, wow, now we do be getting into it. So after that, we find out that Hinata, Kageyama, Nishinoya, and Tanaka all could possibly not go to Tokyo because their grades aren't great. They're kind of dummies.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you're dummy, and sometimes you're dummy thick. Sadly, this was the latter.
And so they just got to study. And
Study.
They do be studying. And Suki is like, I'm not going to fucking tutor you anymore. Y'all are dumb as hell. So then Yachi, who we get introduced to as a potential new manager for the team, because with our current third year manager, she is a third year.
Kyoko.
Kyoko is a third year, so there wouldn't be a manager. So they're like, damn, should get her. So now Yachi's a great teacher because she's a smart one, and she do be teaching, which is great. After that, we have our own little Yachi episode, actually, where she kind of is struggling with why she wants to join the volleyball team, and she's having a really hard time tell that to her mother, because she's like, if you don't give your 100%, you're just wasting their fucking time. And that's kind of like brutal.
It's kind of rough, Mom, dude.
It's kind of rough, but also I'm very glad that they show literally immediately after the mom does like the tough love and she like has to walk out to go do business or whatever. The assistant's like, that's kind of rough. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm just trying to be like there for my daughter. And so it's really good to see that it's not out of a place of malice, but out of a place of trying to help Yachi grow as a person. And then by the end of that episode, she shows that even townsperson B can be someone great. And
dude, I'd love to be
really
townsperson B.
Me too. I was a tree. It's great. It's such a nice little message and a very good, it's a good little encapsulated story. And now Yachi's part of our team. She makes a really cool poster.
It didn't overstay its welcome, which was interesting. I thought they were going to maybe stretch that out a little longer, but I'm glad it lasted as long as it did.
Yeah.
Because it's a volleyball anime, and we don't know girls allowed. I'm kidding now. But no, it was short and sweet, which is what I liked, and it worked.
Yeah. And so
solidifying
we realized
Yachi as my favorite character.
Yachi's good. Yachi's like I've said before, and I'll say it again. You could pick any character to be your favorite character in this show, and I'd be like, that makes sense. I'm okay with that. That checks out.
We need the moral support, man. She's good.
She's great.
Love
and
moral
then
support.
Kageyama and Hinata do fail their tests, so they're like, shit, we got to take supplementary. But then
Gotta take supplements, vitamin D.
Okay. Our good boy Tanaka's like, yo, my sister can help you. She'll drive you to Tokyo after you finish your exam. So they do their exams, and then they book it. And Sayako is really a great driver.
Dude, she's stepping on the gas tonight.
But yeah, so after they get to Tokyo, they do more matches, but then we meet a bunch of different characters. We meet so many iconic people from the series get introduced from Tokyo. We meet like all the Nekoma players a lot more in depth. We see a lot of Kuro. We see a lot from Fukuro Dani, which has Bokudo, my owl boy who goes, hey, hey, hey. It's great. Not like Fat Albert, though. Don't say it. And we get... Sorry. You're not allowed. But we get to meet a bunch of different Tokyo teams, which are very strong, very powerful. Karsuno's like, oh, we're baby. We're not that good. But they're doing what they can. And, it's great. And at this point, and this is kind of a precursor to the full training camp, which will happen later. We'll talk about. So after doing those trainings and doing all their slide drills, because that's what you do when you lose. You do drills. The next episode, though, is when a big conflict comes out. Is that Hinata's like, I need to improve myself. And I need to be able to make it so that I can fight on my own. And Kageyama's like, no, you dumb idiot. Like, we got it super quick. Don't mess up what we have. Which I can see both. Kageyama's a little bit of an asshole during this time. I must admit, he's a little stinker. And it's just based on how those two communicate and how those two different ideals clash. Yeah. And, because without the quick, Kageyama's like, you're basically like useless. You don't do enough to warrant being on here. So, Hinata gets, they get angry and then they fight. And Tanaka splits them apart after Yachi got really scared. And I was like, no.
Do not frighten her.
Do not frighten the child. She's small.
Stop you.
Stop you, criminal scum. You violated the law. So after that, we get a lot of individual practices from all the different characters. Kageyama goes to Oikawa and is asking about like, what the fuck? And Oikawa takes a funny little picture with him. And I love it. It's very sassy. I love Oikawa. And he's like, are you giving the shrimp the tosses that he wants? And Kageyama's like, oh shit, I'm not. I'm not doing that. And another thing is that Hinata goes to old Coach Ukai to get some advice about skills and fighting. And this is where he learns about the tempos. First, second, and third, with about the speed of how a spiker would be going. Like, for example, first tempo is the spiker's already in the air. The second tempo is that the spiker is already in motion. And the third is that the spiker has yet to be in motion until the set is placed.
Don't forget about negative tempo.
Well, see, minus tempo happens because Hinata's very quick. That's
so fast.
Yeah. and then they learn that they both realize that not Kageyama, but in fact Hinata is like the king, quote unquote, or like the leader of the attack. And so they're like, oh shit. It's crazy. And now finally we get full training camp. And this is maybe my favorite part of the entire manga and show in general. It is wonderful. I love it. We get to further expand on all these different characters. And the first character that we really get to know more about is none other than my tall bastard son, Tsukishima. Because this kid doesn't want to practice after practice. But then all my good boys, my good boys with Bokudo and Kuro and Liv and all of them are like, Suki, come over here. We want to do practice. It's like, God damn it. I don't want to do practice. And then after that, we get a backstory of Suki. And I'm like, oh no, my boy. And basically what happens is that his brother is not very lied to him about starting on Karasuno as the ace, when in fact he never really did play in any matches. He just was a bench warmer, essentially. And that kind of broke Suki a little bit.
He's not happy.
That was rough.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
upset. I was lied to, but I was also upset the fact that he let his brother down. Like,
Yeah.
it's rough. I was very sad. I'll be honest. Like,
Yeah.
the fact, like, you could see the despair on his face when Suki comes to one of his games in the flashback,
Yeah.
and he's on the bench, and I was like,
Yeah, well,
that
because
feeling is
he's in the
horrible.
cheering section. He doesn't even have a chance to like be on the bench. He's in the cheering section.
That's rough.
Oh my god.
And so Suki, doesn't want to try because it's just a club. It's just a game. What if you can't do it? And there's a really wonderful part that gets touched on later, is that Bokudo's like, you don't know it yet, but there will be a time, there will be a play, and that you will fall in love with volleyball, and that you will remember, and that will push you forward. And
I wonder when we're going to see that.
well, we'll talk about that in a few. And there's some. There's some. There's
How
some.
did you know?
Hey,
What?
Crosses through time and space.
Guys. It was a yawn, so I could think about what words I was gonna say next.
hey, words are hard. I get it.
My
Stall
brain
yawn.
was loading for a second, so I had to yawn.
You had that dial-up speed connection, you said?
Yeah, it's so they do more practice matches. There's some growth. For example, Hinata learns how to kind of hit off the fingertips of one of the blockers to be able to just like tip it away, and while not getting hit back to their side. And they use another beautiful visual symbolism with the tip of an umbrella with like the little droplets coming off and just lightly hitting that. So good. And by the end of the training, all the gears on Karasuno is finally coming together. And while some more inexperienced players are like, wow, why'd Karasuno comes here? Specifically, Nekuma's coach, he's like, oh no, dude, they're figuring it out. The gears are coming together. And it's great. And after their final match, the training camp finds out that there will be a big old barbecue at the
Dude,
end.
I love big old barbecues, dude.
It's great. And everyone was eating. Yachi was going to get eaten up by the jungle of people. And she's like, I'll just eat this really burnt one. It's great.
Hey, not gonna lie, I eat a lot of burnt stuff. So, no, I mean, not because I burn it. I just prefer the taste.
You like the crunch.
I'm usually the first one to go after the crispier cookies. It's
Exactly.
like, y'all aren't gonna eat it? Well, I'll fucking.
Yeah, how you like your cookies? Yeah, I like a medium rare.
I want no pink in the center of my cookie.
Give me the make it doughy, dude.
So, once again, this during the barbecue, I feel like is another huge aspect of why I love Haikyuu so much. is because there are no teams, and we'll see this more in the tournament, which we will talk about in just a second. There is no team that is just there to be beaten. There is not a team where they're like, oh, you know, they're just fodder for Karasuno to beat and move on. Each team has their own motives, has their own play style. They have their own way of going about a game. And so that's a huge reason why I feel like this show holds up as well as it does, even to people who might not be as experienced with volleyball. Because I probably said this last episode, but I have sisters who they've played volleyball in the past. So I had been watching volleyball for years and years and years. And then I watched this show and I'm like, I know all these things. And it was great. But regardless, each team gets their own little time to shine, a little spotlight. And that's a huge strength because I love being enriched in a world. This is why I love One Piece so much. I love that all the characters have their own like way of thinking, their own motivations on what they want to do and what they need to do. And I feel like more than any other show, Haikyuu does that as well as One Piece. I feel like, which is let me just say a huge claim, but I feel like this story shows that giving proper development to everyone, which might not be realistic for a lot of shows, but if you can put in the time to really make that work and make that somewhat integral part of your story, it will pay off in spades. And this show is a testament to that. Oh, somebody be clicking.
I didn't put my ringtone down.
Pino, I thought you were a professional.
Oh no, professional Pino is on vacation. What do you mean?
He's left the building.
He's left the building.
It's good stuff. So we now get to see some real matches. Since it's been a while since some real high stakes matches.
I will say, I was not going. I didn't think I was going to enjoy the training arc as much as I did. Because a lot of times training arcs just feel a little too long, or maybe they're just a little too, they overstayed their welcome. I never felt like it overstayed its welcome for this training arc. It all felt great. I have no way to describe it. It was perfect. It was great.
I feel like volleyball itself is a great catalyst to making that training interesting because you do a lot of practice matches. And you know, it's like basically if you were to compare it with like fighting, it's like a sparring match basically. There's not as high stakes, but you're still using it to train and to learn do all those things. Yeah, and so I feel like these practice matches really helps with that and keeps it clear rather than, you know, it's just being people serving or doing just light volleys to each other, because that's how you really learn and how you excel when you're playing volleyball. So I'm really glad that it's able to employ that very closely and well during this. So now we got the spring tournament, but mostly we got the Miyagi prefectural qualifiers, which is to advance to that spring tournament. So first we fight against what is it called? Giminani, which has a bunch of fools in it.
Bless you.
Okay.
Oh, it's the yellow team, right?
No. Yellow team was after. That's Jozenshi. We're talking about
Pink team?
We're talking about the guy who didn't like doing stuff. Who was he was like, oh man, I'm not motivated to win this.
Oh, these guys were the guy with the earring.
It's the guy who looked like a punk. It's
the one who was hitting on the goddess.
No.
Dang.
It's Toada is the name of the main guy who gets the most focus in this sort of section. And he's the captain for the team. And basically what happens is that they, at the prelims, at the inner high, they were defeated by by Shitorizawa. So they're like, ah, shit, Nets, we're getting goofed. And Karasuno is doing great, and they beat him in 2 sets. But there's, once again, development within the Ogiminami High School, because at the beginning, it shows you a flashback of last year when they were fighting Shitorizawa, and it was he did not go chase after the ball that he probably could have gotten, but then there was the other the third year at the time, he ran after the ball to try and get it, and it's just like, you need to put your all into it, even if you're not even if like there's might not be a good chance that you win. He's a defeatist, and he gives up quickly. And so we get to see some cool stuff. It's great. I'm sorry, I just really love this show. So then next we get Kakugawa, which has the big old 2-meter man, who's a tall boy, and he's great because he's I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. Yeah, so Kakugawa team is just it's all based around the tall 6-meter not 6-meter, what the fuck 2-meter tall Titan. And so they do another battle, and there's a big old battle between the heights just because you're so overwhelmingly tall that it's hard to beat. But then they do finally beat him, and then they go fight, and then they realize that they're going to they're going to go against Jozenshi in their next match, which is the earring guy, yellow uniform. Pino, you know him, you love him. You're doing great.
Thank you. Names are hard.
There's a lot of school names in this show, and even I struggle with some of the lesser known ones, just because it's hard.
They changed their first letter of their name, like Boruto and Naruto.
Bort, Nart. We got Fart.
You got Boofy.
No. Boofy. Oh no.
No, never.
Luffy and my son Boofy.
Dude,
to be fair though,
and
Luffy,
my son Hinato.
No. But we get to see that Karasuno's now trying to figure out and to improve for the match, and then they go against Jozenshi, where that team is just playing to have fun, and they do a lot of different risks. Like they do a tempo attack that they just saw Karasuno do like 2 plays before, and they're like, "Oh, let's try this." And so it's a very different vibe than any other team that they played before, because they experiment so much. So it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot like Karasuno.
Yeah,
in a way.
Karasuno like had practiced their quick attacks so much.
They had more they were more driven.
Yeah. And then Karasuno wins, and they're even in like Jozenshi, the what's her name? The manager's like, sometimes it won't be fun, but
Dude,
you gotta
manager,
keep going.
She was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
like
she was
awesome.
Bad,
like she was bad in a good way.
Yeah,
Badass.
basically.
Yeah.
Badass.
Well, she was a baddie, is what he was trying to say.
Baddie. She bad. She was awesome. I liked her character despite her not being in there for too long.
Yeah,
she put her foot down. I was like, and then they gave us the flashback, and I was like, "Yo, I'm down with this. Like, give me these small little flashbacks. Like,
that's what they do.
I love caring about these other characters I don't really care about, because when I care, it makes it more interesting."
It's true. And so then we get to find out the Wakatunani High, who is the purple.
Dude, I love Toonami, dude.
Okay. The pink uniforms.
That was the other little guy, giant team.
with the little man. And not Takaru, that's
Nakashima, right? There's the one with the pink outfits, right?
Yeah, it's the pink outfit. I'm trying to get the name of the
Takaru.
What's his name? Maybe?
Taco.
Who? Taco?
That's my name.
Your name's Taco?
Yeah, dude.
Nice. But we get this match, which once again we get to see we get to see the battle with these new guys, Wakutani, and we get to see all these little short dudes. The short dude run around, and then this is more of a fight of like, oh, now I have to like prove myself that I will be the little giant, because both of them have both Hinata and I'm too
Takaru,
lazy.
dude.
Takaru, is that his name?
That's the short one, yeah, because they kept saying it at the beginning.
Oh yeah,
Like of his family, because they were in the stage or in the audience.
You thought that was their his name, and I'm like, no, Pino, that's not quite right.
Yeah, it's Takaru, dude.
Yeah,
right?
Takaru, but he's doing great, and so then they do another fight, another battle. Karasuno wins, and we even get some stuff with because this is the match where Daichi and Tanaka collide. And as such, Inoshita, who is the second year that we actually don't get to see a whole lot of, we get some more backstory on him. We get to see how he was playing back when he was a first year, and basically during the first year, basically all the first years left, except for Tanaka, and then he makes his way back, and they keep driving and keep pushing, and he's shown to be that he will probably be the next captain of the team and kind of like a cornerstone of the defense. And so we get to see a lot of that, and Karasuno wins. I
They
feel
need
like
to show me more of these guys that I keep forgetting their names. His story was so great. I was like, look at this side. Look at this tree number B, dude. He's great.
this tree number B.
Yeah, man. Isn't that what they call him? No.
I don't think that's exactly what they call him.
But that was so cool. Like, I was just like, I know there's more people in the team. Where are our subs? And then we've got that second group of second years. I was like, yes, let's go.
And also they do get more focus on season 4 as
That's
well.
what I'm talking about. Let's go.
It's great. Once again, development of characters is very pivotal to the success of this show, and this is one of the reasons why. Anyway, next we get to actually see a different match, which is Date Tech versus Seijo. And Karasuno's watching, and we get to see a new setter, Koganegawa, who has blonde hair, but has like a little bird foot on his head. And he's like the new Iron Wall, and it's so cool. But Seijo wins, and they're like, we're going to win next year. We're going to do it. And so that sets up the rematch of Seijo versus Karasuno. And this is the rest of season 2. There's a lot of cool. I once again, I don't want to talk too much about just everything because I could drone on forever. But there's some new additions. Like, for example, we meet Mad Dog.
Oh, dude, Mad Dog.
Kiyotani.
Mad.
Yeah, he's big and crazy, but he's like kind of a wild card. But
as you would expect from a Mad Dog.
It's true, and
Woof,
he
woof.
does a lot of crazy attacks, and it's kind of a loner. But you get a backstory on him, and it's great, and I love it. It's good stuff. And
Daichi also stood out to me a lot. He was pretty cool.
Yeah, Daichi. Ugh, Daichi,
Daichi, dude.
Daichi, good shit. All Seijo in particular, I really love as a team. Really fleshed out.
You mean Alba Josai? Stop confusing me.
It's the same thing. It's also just easier to say Seijo than Alba Josai. So, but
Seijo
we get a lot of
Jahosai?
bless you.
Who'd you watch?
No, we get some tight.
So we also get to see Yamaguchi make a return as a pinch server, because actually in the in the last match, I think, if I remember correctly, he was put into pinch serve, and
He messed up.
well, no, he
Choked.
he choked basically, and he
I feel that on a spiritual level.
yeah, and so he basically says he like messed up. He freaked out and did a normal serve instead of his cool jump float serve. But in this match, he gets like 5 points. And I'm like, yes.
He's racking it up, man. He was put in for the points, and
Yeah, and he did it.
I'm glad.
And Yams is such a good character. I love him so much. And then it comes down to the third set because there's 3 sets, best out of 2, and it was 1-1. And they're doing fighting, and Karasuno comes out with a win. And this is the part where Oikawa does the really cool like save for the serve and whatnot, and he does big serves, and it's great. And then they're going to the finals for the Miyagi representative for the Spring High Tournament, and we see that they first actually Oikawa bumps into Ushishima, who he's like, I don't regret shit. I was great. Could I have won with you? Maybe, but he was happy with his decision and how he stood up. And then he was also like, don't you dare think down about Tobio or Kageyama.
Honorable.
And he's like, don't you ever look down on him because he'll just might come up and get you.
I'm gonna get you.
And then
I'm sorry. I'm gonna get you.
That's it. That's what it is. And then Ushishima approaches Karasuno, and Hinata and Kageyama are like, we're going to fucking beat you to go to nationals.
We're gonna beat you up
That's what it's called.
with sports.
Sport game. And that was the end of season 2.
Yay!
Woo!
Season 2
Guys,
was real excellent.
Season 2, phenomenal.
Oh, yes.
So
Love
good.
it.
Guys. And then the reason why I didn't want to just watch season 2 is because season 3 is just the match after.
Yeah, season 3 is 10 episodes of one old match. I didn't think they had enough content to go through
Me
the
either.
entire thing. They did. I
They
was
do.
expecting it to end like episode 8 or
Yeah.
9.
You'd be
And they
surprised.
did a good job with it. Like, it didn't... there were a couple times where I had thought, like, maybe this could have been a little shorter, but not really.
Yeah, I can agree with you there.
They fleshed it out.
Overall, it was still pretty solid. Even so much as to giving us some backstories for even like the coaches in season 3, like Coach Shorty, which his name escapes me. But they gave a small little like backstory on him, and I was like, "Wow, you really took the time to tell me why
Yeah.
he's angry. That's why he angry, dude."
Yeah, on Washijo, because he was short, and they're like, you can only do so much, but you're short. And he's like, no. So then he only picks tall people, and so they're like, I only get the strongest players. And so it's the battle of the
boomer
ideals.
way of thinking. I'm just kidding.
It's true. He is a
And
boomer.
who's
kidding.
the one about the left-handed fella and his family?
Oh, dude,
yeah. So that's-
Wakatushi?
Yeah.
Wakatiti?
Wakatushi? That sounds like...
Ushijima is his backstory is basically that his dad was I think
Volleyball.
he was I think in like the second league, so he was like a AAA player instead of a pro player. If anyone gets that baseball jargon, but
It's a baseball.
he was a level right under the major professional. He was one level under, and basically he was like, oh, I want my son to it could become his greatest strength being a left-handed, but on Ushijima's mother's side, who was a more strict traditional Japanese strict and as well as traditional way, as that left-handedness didn't go in her side of the family. And so as such, they were like, we need to correct this now. But
He was like,
the
no,
dad was like,
my
no,
son,
please.
he will have
if
a
it ain't
unique...
right, you ain't right.
He's like, no,
You
my son,
ain't.
he will have a unique
No.
advantage.
No, you wait. And so it just because, and the reason why it is a big strength for him is that most players in volleyball are right-handed. So when you have to go against a left-handed hitter, you have to align yourself differently. You have to adjust to different ways that they can
see.
hit the ball. So that's why it is a great strength for him.
And
So you have to
then,
use the right side of your brain. I get you.
and then
true.
later on, was it Hinata who ended up smacking it with his left hand and used that to throw them off?
Yeah, and they're like,
They're like, wait, he copied us.
we also have Tendo, who's
Dude, I love chicken
who's the
tenders,
guest,
dude.
who's the guest blocker. Who
You mean lizard man?
he's could be.
When they said lizard man, I got upset. I'm like, dude, that's just the way he looks, man. Yeah, his backstory made me upset because everybody bullied him.
But then look at him now.
Now he's stunking on the nerds.
Yeah, and he and Ushijima are they're good friends now. They're great. They're two weirdos together, and I love them.
Yeah.
And we also have people like Goshiki, who's the wannabe ace, who gets all fired up, which I love. And it's a really fun match with a lot of twists and turns. It's hard to go into it, but there's a couple things, like, for example, we get that good Suki moment where he gets the block. He blocks the shit out of Ushijima, and that was his moment. Like we talked about before in the training, you will have that volleyball moment, and it will get you hooked. And that was it for him.
Not a bruh moment.
It was
a
Pog moment.
Dude, he's still my big Pog champ.
I guess you are my big Pog champ.
Come here. No, too close.
But and then he like goes like, yeah, and I'm like, and legitimately,
yeah, that yell. I was like, this is time. It's his time to shine.
I think there's not a better show that will get a reaction out of me. Like, I will clench my fists and I will like be stressed out watching this show, and then like cheer audibly when like something's happened. Like I'm watching a real sports game, and it's great. I love this show, and
Dude,
I cheer.
It's one of those real sports games I've been telling you about.
And these, this season was intense.
Oh my god, it's one match, and you're like, oh my god, how can I do this?
And I'll let you wrap up before I go on about it.
Yay. It's just, yeah, he does it. He's all gassed up, and actually in the middle, because he's doing so many blocks against Yoshima, he actually like dislocates his finger, and so he has to be pulled out of the match later, and wrapped it up, and that was a big thing, because without him it's much harder to block, because he's a big tall boy whose volleyball senses are super good. But Garb, you go ahead.
Well, what I was gonna go about, I go ahead and finish up.
No, like, and then he comes back, but like, it shows that he has now really fallen in love with playing volleyball, and
dude,
how
ball is life, dude.
And like that was his moment, and he was ready to go. So it's good
ball
stuff.
Is life. Okay, Garb, go.
Ball, good. Well, they eventually win the match, which I did not expect. I thought Karasuno was going to lose again, and whenever they pulled it out in the end, I was like, holy shit, they did it. I was surprised.
I was surprised as well. Well, not really. I expected them to win.
What?
If they didn't, I would have been sad.
Aw.
You can't make me double sad in 2 seasons. That's not correct.
But it would, like,
I need to see them win. I need this team to win. If they lost, then we'd lose our 3rd years, right?
Yeah. The 3rd
we
years
can't
would
have
have been
that
gone.
happen.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
We'd lose Kyoko.
I don't disagree with it. I just, the way they
Didn't
framed
expect
it, like the first half of the match, I was like, no, they're going to lose. But then they pulled it out.
I feel that this show isn't explicitly about winning. It's about that growth and the battle. And I feel like that's what really works for me during the show, because like season 1 ends with a loss. We see Karasuno lose to Abujosai, and you're just like, oh fuck, they lost. And I feel like that's a huge thing to show that growth and that skill. And like, they didn't just come out of they weren't a ragtag group that could just win as soon as they got put together, because that's fucking unrealistic. And so I'm really glad that the show is able to see.
Yeah. And they definitely show you the other team.
Yeah.
Poor fellas.
So good. Yeah. And
I don't even remember their name.
Man.
Kusoge.
What'd you call me?
Kusogi King.
Regardless, season 3 is fantastic. Shiro Torizawa, and then and it's like the battle of the concepts, and through a 5-set match, Karasuno like ekes it out, and it's so good. And then they're like, let's go to nationals, and then that's the end of season 3.
Yay!
Guys, how do you feel about how about these 2 seasons in general?
Our boys are gonna win.
Yeah.
They better, or else I'll cry. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah.
You don't ever get to see a lot of quality
There's twists.
or consistency, so
Yeah.
it's nice.
Is well animated the whole way through. Like, story is good the whole way. Pacing was even.
Yeah. I will say, I get why they made season 3 10 episodes. Now that I've seen the entire thing, but I still prefer season 2 over season 3. Strangely enough.
I get that. I feel like they both. I feel like looking at them together as one big season.
Yeah.
I feel like works better, but I realize that they kind of had to split them up just because of production, and you can't really do a full 36 episode season.
Yeah. I'd rather them
burn
do
out.
Not in this economy.
Yeah, in this economy,
Anime
honestly.
economy, that is.
It's
I'd rather
true.
them do it this kind of weird way than to have had to stretch out season 3. You know, it's a good decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, this show's so good. I love it to death. Let me look at some of the things that I've listed while we're talking about this. Before we go to characters, because we will talk about that. Oh, I forgot to talk about this, but I guess this is a good time as the other. The audio design in this fucking show is the best. It is probably my favorite out of any anime. The Foley with like the squeaking of the shoes, hitting the balls, the air whooshes whenever like a ball like zooms past, the echo within any of the gyms.
The slam.
Fantastic. And then also, they have like Hanna-Barbera sound effects that they put in sometimes, and it really adds to the energetic feel of the show. And it works so well. It's not, I couldn't imagine Haikyuu without those little bits, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like it adds so much to it.
They do overuse
love
that one flame that, you know,
I
one?
love it, though.
Yeah, the one
I
that
love
you
the
hear in
flame.
like every fucking video game and movie.
It's good. I love them. They're great. They make me very happy. I love it. The show's great. Let's talk about some characters, shall we?
Yeah.
I'll quickly go through them because there's a lot, and we've talked about them before. So let's go with our third years first from Karasuno. We got Daichi, our good captain. He's wonderful. I love him.
What a hunk.
What a hunk.
Nah, dude, that's Papa, dude. Papa's
That
great.
is-
He's in the house.
Papa
like,
bless.
not gonna lie, this guy's awesome.
Once again, this will be part of the show where we're just like, oh yeah, this character's good. Oh yeah, this character's good. Oh yeah, this character's
Yeah, most
great.
definitely, and especially those who have focus, like Daichi. He had a lot of more focus, which I liked, especially in some of the battles. Like we mentioned, his battle against some of the like quote unquote the battle against the other captain of the team, and how their ideals
Yeah.
kind of clashed. His whole little, oh no, I got a boo boo. He lost a damn tooth. I was shocked.
Yeah, dude. Ain't fooling.
He's not fooling. He's a cool guy. He's awesome.
It's great. We got Suga, who's our...
Dude, Suga's
who's
cool, especially
our-
when he
who's mommy.
broke character and got angry.
He's mommy. He knew what he was doing. He had to do it when he had to.
Sometime mom needs to complain.
Yeah. It's good stuff. I love
And
it.
then Uncle Jesse.
And then Asahi.
Dude,
What?
he's awesome. I loved him from season 1. I still love him here too. He's great.
Yeah.
He's still shy. Still is shy. Got a new hairstyle.
Yeah, dude.
Almost didn't recognize him
the same
Gotta put it
goofy
in
until they
the
said
bus.
I got a new hairstyle.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, the reason is like Yoga said if I keep doing it like that, I could be bald.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're pulling
That
it
made
back
me
so
laugh a
tight.
lot.
I'm like, oh.
Same goofy, lovable face.
It's true. Let's see. We also got... Now we got some second years really quickly. We've got Nishinoya, Rolling Thunder. my boy.
Nishinoya. Can we pair up Nishinoya with his buddy Tanaka? Just
Yeah.
I want them as like our just if they were real, I'd like to have them as like our
No, yeah.
audience.
No,
they're our hype man, dude.
Yeah, they're gassing us up for sure.
Of course.
Actually, with Tanaka, there was actually an Android with Tanaka that comes with parts for Nishinoya.
Amazing.
And just because they're like, we know you're buying Tanaka, and so we know you're going to need extra parts for Nishinoya. And I'm like, you're goddamn right I am. It's great. And we also got Chikara, who is our second year, who got the most development beyond those other two. He got a lot of gusto in him, and he's great. I love him. He's very underrated. Inoshita, what a guy. We got the other 2 second years. We got Kinoshita and Narita. We don't get a lot this season with them, sadly. We get a little Narita in some practice matches when the boys were missing, but it's okay.
Dude, not my Narita-verse.
Okay,
This season, that is.
Well, guys, now we got our wonderful, wonderful first years.
Get our heavy hitters, dude.
We got Kageyama first. What a boy.
Still as angry as usual, but
he's not good at communicating. He's trying his best.
You know, you can see the try. Dude, I love when everybody was like kind of like dancing around and he was like, let me also. he was like robotic.
He's trying.
He's doing, you know what? He's leaps and bounds, dude. Sometimes you need baby steps, but those baby steps are leaps and bounds.
Baby steps be jumping.
Yeah, man.
We got Hinata, the boy.
He's less annoying this season. I remember that was one of my complaints, so that's very good.
I never thought he was annoying personally, but that's fair.
Hey, don't worry. It's called growth, and Hinata's awesome now, so I love him.
Yeah.
He's not gonna lie. Hinata's pretty epic this season.
Yeah, dude. Epic win, dude.
Yeah, dude. That's
and also,
him.
he's got to go use the potty.
He meets powerful enemies every time he goes to the bathroom.
Exactly.
That was a really good bit.
No, you call it taking a poopy.
Yeah, no, he's like I always meet powerful opponents when I go to the bathroom. Who am I gonna meet now? It's
You're gonna meet Mickey D's, dude.
No.
Treat you right.
Then we also got Suki, who
dude, Suki's had the best.
The boy.
He's the best in these
glow
both
up.
seasons. Let's go.
Yeah.
Remember when I hated him?
Damn.
It's awesome, dude.
He's so good.
When I don't hate people anymore.
I love him. And then we also got Yams. Good
Dude,
old Yamaguchi.
Yamaguchi, dude. Wearing all that Gucci stuff.
Gucci.
Yeah.
Yo.
Dude, whoa, we interceded like 5 songs in there somehow.
What?
No worries.
My brain, like whenever you see someone who's instead of their eyes like crossing, one eye like goes the complete opposite direction. That's what my brain felt like hearing that.
Regardless, I love them all. Karasuno's great. We also got Kyoko.
All right, let me speak to the managers. All right, let's go. Kyoko. Oh, what a doll. Oh, still such a goddess as they call her.
Yeah.
But make way for the new one.
Guys, we got Yachi as well.
Dude, Yachi's so energetic. She's got that same kind of energy, innocence. It's great.
She's got like kind of a Hinata vibe, but in a different way. And
she's the comic relief.
She must be protected at all costs.
She must be protected at all costs. It's great. I love them. And then we got both the Ukai coaches. Who's great.
Kid Ukai, dude.
Kid
Still
Ukai's
is cool.
Great. Yep.
Man, I love it.
And then we got old Ukai too.
Dude, old Ukai still is Ukai, dude.
Still as Ukai as ever.
Dude, shout outs to my Ukai watches, dude. Let's go.
We also got Takeda, who's the teacher. He's
still as wholesome as ever, dude.
He's like, ooh.
Dude, him crying at the end, I wanted to cry.
That was me. I did cry.
No tears from me, but my eyes did swell up to the point where I felt like I had a big ass head.
Your eyes do be
big
swelling.
Ass head.
It's full of tears.
Let's see. I'm just gonna quickly looking through who other we can quickly go through. We got Kuro from Nekoma, great tall.
Dude, his black hair, I love it.
Oh yeah. I love him. We also got Kenma, who's like, whoa,
dude, Kenma is my height, dude. Let's go. That's what I was doing during this quiet time while Chuck was gushing. I was like, let me find somebody who's my height. Let's go.
Yeah, Kenma's a gamer. He's great.
Kenma's my height. Let's go.
And then we also got Leave, who is our tall first-year Russian boy.
I liked him. He's Russian.
Great.
I love it. How do I speak Russian?
He's like,
no,
oh, don't worry.
Japan, dog.
I grew up in Japan, bro.
Don't worry.
Dude, I was ready to go to Russia's sushi. I was ready to do all that.
It's like
I would. Okay, that's for next season. There's a lot of good stuff next season with Nekama. So, anyway, we also got. Let's go to Abujosai real quick.
Damn.
We got
Let's
Oikawa.
go Oikawa, dude. Remember when I hated him? I don't hate him anymore. But I
Imagine-
don't like him.
Imagine not liking Oikawa. As
Imagine not liking the sass this man exudes.
It's god tier. I love
He'd be
it.
sassy. It's great.
He do be sassy, and we also got Iwai Izumi, who is the setter, who's great. He keeps Oikawa together, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing?" It's
Dude,
great.
Mad Dog had that
Mad Dog,
development I
great.
didn't expect from a guy
Kyotani,
called
dude.
Mad Dog.
He's great.
So congrats to you, Mad Dog. You're great.
And then let's quickly go through. Let's see. Data Tech. One new one. We have Konawagawa, who's the new setter,
Rooster Man.
who's a little bit of a goof. I just love him. He's great
He's cool.
too. And then Fukurodani, we meet Bokudo, my boy.
Oh, dude, Bokudo. Hey. Dude, Ian Sinclair, dude. Let's go.
I think that's the only casting pick you could have for Bokudo, so I respect the hell out of it.
Dude, that was awesome. Hearing his voice, I was like,
Yes, I see.
music to my ears.
And then
Delicious butter.
let's quickly go to Shitorizawa. You got Ushijima. What a guy. I really liked his character. He was, interesting.
Stoic, serious. I love it.
Yeah. And then we get Tendo as well.
He was
Or
a little
creepy
mean at
blocker.
first, but I get it. His backstory made me understand his trauma.
Smug
Yeah.
aura mocks me.
I was upset that he was just like, you know what, after high school, I'm going to stop. I'm like, but you have talent.
But
Don't do it.
But he said, I'm done. He said, that's enough for now.
He said, I don't think I will.
Their
He
coach,
said, I don't think I
their
will.
coach got some big ass eyebrows.
The coach, I do love the coach as well. He's
Coach is great, dude. I want to give him a big old hug. I don't know him, but he seems like he needs one.
he just needs a hug. It's fine. But then we also have a cool part of the show where we look at some characters.
But not others.
Yeah, it was
not
the,
others.
Yeah, it was
What do
the
you mean?
character segment. Hope you
Right.
guys liked it.
Thanks.
Anyway,
Who's that old guy in the audience that shows up all the time?
welcome to the 74th
I'll
edition of
never
Who's the
know.
Best Girl, the violent podcast where each contestant puts forward their choice of Best Girl of the episode, duke it out for a title of Best Girl. Today our contestants, once again, Pino, Garb, myself, and the Patreon. Who are you each advocating for? You fools?
I pick him,
I'm picking Yachi, but I want Daichi as my second if I can have to.
No, that's illegal.
Fine, I'll pick Yachi, dude. Daichi
I'll just feel Daichi in spirit for you.
Dude,
I know how much you love the boy. And also,
Daichi's awesome, but no, I pick Yachi.
and Patreon pick Suga. So I will be fighting for my sweet motherly setter.
Dude, Suga's such a sugar.
Suga,
I didn't mess that up. Thank you.
Suga.
All
Anyway,
right.
I'll go first because I have two to go after, so I'll do one and then I'll do another one later.
Take it away.
Guys, Suga's great. He got a little hair. He got a little tuft on the top of his head.
Making him unique. I love it.
He has a very good personality. He's a very kind soul, but he can also really get in people's head if they're being buttholes, and he's like, stop it. And he's
Get some help.
He's also a great person that can bring people together, that I feel like it's a super good thing about him, as that he's very much someone, he's like part of the glue that keeps the team together. Like, even though he doesn't play in a whole lot of matches, he's still like one of the most important members on the team.
He's like the glue, dude.
Yeah.
Well, he's half of the other glue.
He's glue. Also, according to the cards, the trading cards that I got, his current concern right now is that a lot of his juniors are taller than him.
Hey, dude, that's how I feel every time I see a childhood friend or a person who's younger than me, dude. My cousin, he's taller than me right now. I'm a little concerned. What is he eating? What am I not eating?
Yeah. And then also, a cool thing about Suga in the first popularity poll in Haikyuu, he placed 4th place but in the second one, he ranked second place,
Wow.
which go him.
Dude, understandable, dude. I'd like to hug that man.
You would like to hug that man?
Yeah. He's got a mole on his face. Of course I would.
Let's see.
That's not the reason why, but
Oh yeah, and then there's later. Well, actually, I'll talk about this much later. TM, but there's a bunch of different polls that they do for about like what's like the best member in each position and things like that. So I want to do that maybe in a filler episode or something. Just talk about those sort of things. But regardless, it's great. And Suga's great because he's number 2 best.
yes.
Yes.
Who did you pick, though?
I picked Oikawa.
All right, let's hear it.
Oh, okay. I go twice in a row?
I mean, you
Okay.
can if you want.
Guys, Oikawa's great. You know why?
Why?
Because he's a sassy boy.
That's fair.
He's a great setter, a great teammate.
He's got great style. Did you see that outfit he was wearing at the end when he was going incognito?
I said this last episode, and I'll say it fucking again. The reason why I got the type of glasses that I got is because Oikawa was wearing the same type of glasses, and I said I want those.
I want to be Okawa.
And he's hot. The boy's hot.
Yeah. He's on fire, dude. Do you see his Luffy arm?
I did. He went.
Yeah, that's why he's great.
He's so good, and I love him. And he's a goober as well. He's like a little bit childish, like how he did the took the picture with Tobio, and he's like, "Oh, get a picture of me."
I love his cousin. He's just like, "This is kind of weird."
Yeah. No,
the
the cousin's like, "You're dumb as hell," and I'm like, "That's very good."
It's like, "Did you take the picture?" Yeah, it's blurry.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
I don't have anything bad to say about him because he's good looking.
he's just like such a good character in the aspect of the story, because you need someone to kind of be that pushing force and that direct contrast from Kageyama, because Oikawa is one of the best setters. He's like, I can make anyone great with my setting.
Arrogance comes in different forms.
It's great. I love him so much, and he's just a goober too. And let's see. And his current concern in 2012, or in the first box set that he was in, he said when he tried to talk to Kyoko, he was utterly ignored. But then in parentheses it says, but she must have just been shy, and it's not like he's bothered by it, not even a little bit, not at all.
Who wrote this
Oikawa
card?
said to himself. It's very funny. But then his current concern as of 2018, which was the second box set that I guess third box set that came out, his current concern was being mistaken as a minor. It's great. And he's wonderful because he coaches, also in his free time, he coaches his nephew and other kids at the volleyball classroom, and he's great. And also, he's a very consistent 5th place on both of the popularity polls. So, and he's also a Cancer.
Very good.
Nice.
Also, his birthday is July 20th, which shares a date with Alexander the Great. And that's a reference. Well, that's a reference to the Great King, is why he has that name a little bit. It's fun. Anyway, Oikawa's great. I love him.
You know who's really great?
Who?
Yeah.
Kenma.
Dude, he's a cat.
Yeah. That's just the tip of the iceberg, my friend. He's a motherfucking professional gamer.
Dude, certified gamer?
Yeah, technically a
Can
CEO.
hey.
Of gaming?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're cheating. You're looking at the wiki.
Yeah,
You
of
can't
course
do
I'm
that.
looking at the wiki.
No, you're
Don't scroll
learning.
too far.
You're spoiling
I
things,
only
but yes,
I
he is a
only have
gamer.
the first. Don't worry, I've not scrolled at all.
But yes, he's a professional
Yes.
gamer in the future.
What? Yo.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? I could see it.
He's already even professional gamer or not. He's still a gamer,
He is a gamer. It's true.
You can tell. He's got that air.
and he's
to him,
he's
dude.
laid back. He's just chill, and I dig it.
Yeah.
And he's the
Dude, he's got cool hair.
yeah, great hair.
Also,
short.
he's my height, so that's awesome. It's like a Pino, but with volleyball skills. And life skills.
Kenma's great though. I do really love his character, and he's a little doofus too, and I love him. And he's antisocial, but he does his best.
It's just how some people are, and that's fine.
It's true.
He can sit in the other room, and I can just be happy knowing he's there.
Also, if you guys should read the manga. It's great. It's only about 400 chapters long.
Manga.
Pino, shut your yap.
My yap?
Yeah, your yap.
Your yap flap.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, gaming is fun.
He's great, though. I really do love him. He's a boy.
All right, but you know what's even better?
What?
You gotta love Yachi, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yachi. Okay, I'm on the wiki as well, but I won't scroll further. But when I saw September, dude, September birthdays are the best. September 4th, even better, dude. So that's one thing. Two, I'm not afraid to just say it out loud. If anything she's feeling, that's the best part. That's the best character trait she's got. She's also very adorable. She's good at art. Did you see her designing posters? All that stuff. Very dedicated to her craft. Also, side ponytail, best ponytail. And you know what? She's just really driven. I think like that was such a great addition to the whole management squad and to the whole Karasuno team. I think it's such a good contrast between our serious yet elusive yet kind Kyoko and having one who's just as kind and caring, but a lot more, like Chuck said, Hinata based, just very energetic and whatnot and driven, which is great. I love it. I love her. She's awesome.
It's true. She's great. I think she's a great part of the team. Mm-hmm. And I just love it all.
Also, if you can make me like a character within that single like episode or so, I think it was only one episode, right?
Yeah, like you meet her a little bit before, but then you get like the real backstory and like her with her mom.
Would you sell me with just one episode like that? You're golden. She was just stuck in my mind from that point. I'm like, let's go, dude.
Let's get it.
Dude, and I'm looking at her current concern with what she would do if she ended up in this situation where she died or was about to die. Oh my god.
Say it again.
Two peas in a pod, dude.
Say, Pino, can you say it again so that people could hear? And
sure, her current concern, what she would do if she ended up in a situation where she died or was about to die. Dude, it'd be like that sometimes.
Truly a Virgo.
Truly. I love it.
Yeah, Kyoko's great. I love
Shout
her.
outs to us town person B, dude.
Yeah, and her and one of my favorite quotes is it says in the in her like quote segment on the wiki is like, I ended up standing next to such a beautiful girl for nearly 2 minutes. What should I do if her fans try and kill me? And I'm just like,
that was great.
I love her. She's great. All characters good. I'm sorry that this is a bit of an inconclusive best girl segment, but when you consistently have only good characters in your show, I can't really do much about that.
Exactly. And if you want to tell us why they're all good, send us an email.
Where, Pino?
At www.there'stheemail.com.
That's...
You put me on the spot again. You can't do that.
Pino, it's never changed. Guys, it is funkyAnimePodcast@gmail.com or contact at funkyAnimePodcast.com. You can email us like good old Alex has, because we got one message from him.
Yo!
It's a group question.
Go, dude.
And he says, okay, boys, I hear a lot of they could step on me in the episode.
Whoa. I feel like I'm being called out right now.
So my questions for all of you here today, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna mess around with the question a little bit. Who's everyone's top step on me candidate? And who do you think would be the best stepper out of the three that we think up of?
Setsuki.
Well, what do we... Well, I guess, okay, so that's Garbs. I was going to ask for more details, like, are we talking about being fully crushed or just like...
All of it.
I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Yeah, Pino, what? Can you continue that?
No, I don't know where I was going.
Where were you going, Pino? Could you
I
help
really
us
don't know.
with that?
Like, do you want to be obliterated? Do you want
Yes.
Hey, I fucking would say, I'd be like, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you,
No.
man.
Pino, you need to pick the most versatile stepper.
The
Like the
most
one that could do
versatile
any
step.
kind of step that you could possibly imagine.
All right, easy clap. That would be Thanos because I would be turned to dust.
Oh, no. Those
I'm kidding, not
cheeks
really.
will do it, dude.
What did it cost?
Everything.
A stain on my J's. No, no. Thanos doesn't wear J's. He's more of a Sperry's kind of guy, I feel.
I don't know.
Anyway.
What? Do you think he'd wear
Anyways, the
Sperry's?
true answer was Nami, so...
Yeah, Nami's really solid. I'm trying to think because I could go easy with like Boa or I could go with like Darkness. But I don't know if
Wouldn't
Darkness
she
would
wanna be
No,
stepped
that's
on,
that
rather?
was
Okay.
my thought. It's like
Darkness
I couldn't say
would
Darkness because she
slip.
wouldn't step on me.
She would slip.
She'd
She
go
would
oops and then
slip
crush me and I'd
yeah.
say thank you, ma'am. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll say Darkness, but Satsuki's just an easy pick, you know?
I mean, if you know who you're picking, I mean, that's fair.
No, I
Sometimes
know.
you
I'm
have to
just
think.
I'm just saying like the best stepper. Like, of course, it's got to be fucking Satsuki.
Yeah.
like
Yeah, of course.
that's her whole fucking shtick, ain't it?
She'll step on you, and then she'll call you a pig in human clothing.
God,
What else could you want?
please.
And then I'll say ooh la la. Anyway, thank you, Alex, for the good email. If anyone else wants to send it, we said it before. We'll say it one more time. funkyAnimePodcast@gmail.com or contact@funkyAnimePodcast.com. Also, go to funkyAnimePodcast.com.
Yeah, dude.
That's a thing we have.
Also, just tweet at us for no reason.
Yeah, tweet us at A-Weebros.
We love you. Tweet us
that's-
back, say you love us too.
Guys, subscribe to our Patreon.
$1.
$1, please. So do we got any miscellaneous before we get schmoovin'?
I also found out that Kyoko is kind of my height too, so that's poggers. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's poggers. Guys, I just found out that this anime character is the same height as me. Poggers.
Dude, I mean, yeah, I never find people my height.
It's representation, man.
Dude, we're without taxation.
Anyway, let's talk about rankings. I'm gonna go last.
All right, I'll go first. Haikyuu, good. Haikyuu, very good. 4.6.
Heyo, I'll take that.
I really don't have anything to say. Just it's real good.
Hot diggity dang. I'm
Garb, what you got?
I'm struggling. I'm gonna give it the same thing I gave last season. I'm gonna give it a straight 4.
Oh,
It's very good. It's very good, but it's just not personally my favorite. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, can't believe Garb hates Haikyuu.
I can't believe
Can't
Garb
believe it.
is
Finally, I
the
can get the
worst
heat off my
human.
back from K-On!
Guys,
No, that will never end.
No.
guys, this show for me just does everything right. Has great animation, just fantastic characters with both personality wise, design wise. We got a fucking banging OST. OPs and EDs are so damn good. The story is wonderfully paced, fantastic, feels realistic, still has that shonen flair. I think I have enjoyed Haikyuu more than any other piece of media I've ever experienced in my life. This show is getting my first ever 5 out of 5 on this
Wow.
show. I forgot how fucking good this show was.
I forgot you didn't give anything a 5.
Took long enough.
I've been holding out for this because I feel that there is nothing better like that I have currently experienced. I don't think overall has been better than Haikyuu. Haikyuu, goddamn near perfect for me, and I feel like if I went to go find anything wrong with it, it would be beyond nitpicking. It wouldn't be like even fair because I'd be like, oh, maybe this one scene could have been like half a second quicker. Like, that's bullshit. I think Haikyuu's great. Anyone and everyone should watch it. It is infinitely enjoyable. I love it. That's it. That's all I got. Haikyuu's fantastic. I love it.
I'm glad you just gave something a 5.
I needed to. I've been waiting for so goddamn long to give something a 5, and because I've been joking for a while that I would give JoJo Part 4 my first 5 out of 5. Haikyuu season 2 and 3 came in like a truck and said, "No, you ain't," and then I said, "Okay." So Haikyuu's it. Haikyuu's is up at the top.
Dude,
it's gonna
you mean over the top?
That's true. That's season 4, baby.
Yeah.
Anyway, before
It's probably my reason why I gave it a 4.6, just because there's more. It's probably going to be great.
It is. I'm telling you, it's great. And also, that ranking itself was for like seasons 2 and 3, I guess, because I feel like this is a extremely strong anime, and I feel like even with continuing parts, if it ended here, I'd be like, you know what? Even though I'd be upset, I could still look at it and say they put out a damn complete product. Yeah. And just wait for season 4. It's here. It's being made currently as we speak. It is still being made right now as this episode goes up. So go watch it. Go watch Haikyuu. What are you doing here? I told you to go watch it.
What are you still doing here? Go play some volleyball.
Go play some goddamn volleyball. Guys, I love this fucking show so much, but sadly we can't talk about it every week because people would get annoyed. So, Pino, what are we watching next week?
Dude, next week, this is going to be something I'm going to watch for the first time, but something I've been keeping up with for quite a while now. We're going to be watching the anime adaptation for Grand Blue. I believe it's Grand Blue Dreaming. I don't remember why it's called differently. Maybe because there's a fighting game with the same name, but a different series. We're watching Grand Blue, the anime. It's good. Hopefully it's a good time. I certainly like the manga a lot, and I hope, well, one, they do it justice, because a lot of the shows I picked that I've read manga of, and I've got a horrible track record, they seem to butcher it, so let's hope it's not the case.
Let's hope, right? It was made in 2018, so hopefully it's something good.
So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's going to be nice and short, 13 episodes, I believe, but I could be wrong.
Yep, it's 13 or 12. It's a shorty boy.
Yeah, so hopefully we have fun. It's comedy based, so that's all I'm going to say. Yeah. But I like it. At least I like the manga a lot. So hopefully we'll see what happens.
Fingers crossed, right?
Fingers crossed.
Oh, and speaking of us talking about Haikyuu every day, people would get bored. There's just a Haikyuu podcast.
Yeah, it's it's made by the Senyus, the voice actors. So it's them talking to each other, and it's very entertaining. There's a lot of subtitled like episodes and bits. So if you want more Haikyuu, if you've watched everything, there's also a stage play that you can watch as well. If you need more of that, then read the manga. Read it. It's good. I read it weekly for 4 years, and for the last probably year, I cried basically reading every chapter. So it's good. It's fucking good as hell. Anyway,
dude, reading. Probably, yeah.
Yeah. I am just saying it's worth the time investment. Anyway, thank you for listening to the Funky Anime Podcast. I know this.
Did we make it to nationals, guys?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome,
guys. We did it.
Better, sure.
Guys, we're gonna go to nationals for season 4.
I just want to know if I can eat barbecue after this. If we get to eat some meat.
I know. We'll have to sniff the air.
But you need to eat your veggies too.
Veggies.
Vegetables.
Only if they're
broccoli down your throat, son.
I want bean sprouts.
Bean sprouts.
Beans. Anyway, to my right, the libero, who's just been eating a lot of bean sprouts for some reason. Well, that's Pino.
Dude, that's my. You ever watch Popeye? This is Pino.
Ever watch Popeye? Yeah, no, I'm Pino. Okay, cool, weirdo. Dude, to my left, the setter who's just setting the table. I don't think he understands what a setter really means. Well, that's Garb.
No, I'm setting the table.
Oh, dude, I keep my bean sprouts here. Thank you, dude.
That's what the setter does, right?
He makes the Pino eat his bean sprouts.
And guys, I'm Chuck, the middle blocker. That's it. I'm tall.
Tall.
It's been great hanging out with you guys. Make sure to tell your mom you love her. She misses you. It was just Thanksgiving. If you weren't there, give her a call. You know, she's missing you. She wants to say, hey, what's up?
Maybe a FaceTime.
Maybe you know.
Well,
do it at your own pace. But I hope you guys do great.
Send her a mail over the Pony Express. Let's go.
Yeah, choo choo. But thank you so much for listening. Tell your mom you love her, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.